So we're here at the Axell wireless stand at Mobile World Congress, and joining me is Ian Brown. Ian, hi. I was wondering if you could tell me a wee bit about in-building coverage and why it is so important in today's mobile landscape.
Sure. Well, I don't know whether you know, but 80% of mobile phone traffic now emanates from within a building. And people are using their devices more inside buildings than outside buildings. And inevitably that's led to a big rise in demand for in-building coverage systems because wireless signals just don't come floating in through windows. Particularly got more accentuated with the mass proliferation of smartphones and the rollout of LTE services in some of the higher frequency bands like 2600 megahertz, because LTE data services are much more susceptible to poor signal strength. So you've got to have, if you want effective LTE coverage within a building, you need to have good quality signals. So hence the growth in DAS systems, which Axell is a world leader in providing, and other such in-building techniques.
So tell me a bit about the products that you're showcasing at this week's fair.
So we're launching a very exciting new platform. It's called ID DAS. It stands for Intelligent Digital DAS. It's, we think, the biggest revolution in DAS technology for well over a decade. It's basically bringing intelligence into DAS infrastructures. DAS historically architectures have been quite flat, and whilst they've been used for propagating coverage around large facilities, you've had to hardwire base station resource to particular parts of the building. Using our new intelligent DAS system, you can actually pull together the base station resource and dynamically route it around the building as and when is required. The big benefit is that allows the operator to right size and optimize the amount of base station resource for the entire facility, which inevitably means less base station resources required. And given the huge cost of that, both in terms of CapEx and ongoing OpEx, that's a big benefit for operators.
What other benefits does the system bring?
Well, it's small cell and Wi-Fi inclusive, in that we provide a dedicated 1 gigabit channel per remote, either for small cell or Wi-Fi access backhaul connectivity. You can also use the system to capture any excess small cell resource that might be put into a shopping center or something like that when it's not needed, and then use the system to redistribute it elsewhere in the facility. It also, because it's a uniquely digital system, it has inherently very, very low noise. Axell's been is well known for providing very low noise figure DAS systems in the industry. Well, this takes it to another level. Having low noise is very important if you want to maximize data throughput, again for LTE kind of services. Lastly, the GUI itself that we've designed for the system, we've developed in consultation with some operators who've been kindly part of the development process. So each operator has its own unique login into the service and can direct their own traffic within the whole facility. So not only can they move base station sectors, but they can also importantly move what we refer to as a cell resource, or basically a service. So they can differentiate between types of traffic. If they want their CDMA services, for example, to go one way, and they want their LTE services to go a different way, then they have that flexibility. And they can control it all centrally from either a network operations center, or they can set it up on like a time schedule, so they can say, okay, well at 5 o'clock I'd like to pull some extra capacity out of the office building and move it into a shopping center or a restaurant area or whatever they require. One last thing, it's cable agnostic, so it can run on multiple different cable types, whether it's fiber or Cat5 or Cat6. So very exciting. We think it really is a huge revolution in DAS technology.
Absolutely. And obviously at Mobile World Congress, everyone likes to look at the bigger picture for the industry. I was curious about your thoughts as to the state of the wireless technology sector.
You know, I'm a big fan of wireless. I think it's still in its infancy. I think it's got a long way to go. There's so many applications for it. You know, not just, I mean, it's revolutionized the way in which people work these days. But you know, I've heard other vendors talk about worlds of 20-30 billion connected devices, and I think that's dead right. You know, this industry is very good at reinventing itself, coming up with extra innovation, and you know, I think the future is very bright for the whole space, frankly.
Ian, thanks very much.
Pleasure.